Hello friends, this is Ravi from Universal Public School, and today onwards we are going to start our textbook syllabus. I am very happy to inform you that today we will start first lesson, and the name of the lesson is written behind me on the board. Oliver asks more. Being in 8th standard, I hope and I expect from every student that when we study some lessons and poems which are included in our syllabus, dealing with them, you should improve your communication skill as well. And for the improving your communication skill, at the end of the session, before ending session, every day you will be given a particular task. You must complete that task. If you follow all the instructions which will be given you in all my videos, then definitely within some time, like very short time, you will find many changes in your communication skill. Now this new year, new session, new stories, new poems we are going to learn, but somewhat I have changed in the method of learning. Whatever your traditional learning, we are going to change that traditional learning. As we know, because of pandemic of that COVID-19, this is the situation. Physical classrooms cannot be conducted. So that's why our school has organized these online teaching, and we have chosen that YouTube. You can repeat, you can watch it repeatedly, like whenever you want, whenever you have time, watch the videos again and again and ask your doubts. So asking doubt, it gives you help to understand that particular concept. And one more thing I have been telling again and again, unless you ask doubt, I am unable to help you out, because I will not understand you. Have you got that concept? Have you understood the concept 100%, or somewhere you are lacking, or else somewhere you have doubts? So for that purpose, you can mention your doubts in comments, or else you can ask in WhatsApp group, or else simply you can call also. So today we are going to discuss first topic, that is Oliver asks for more. This topic is taken, the story is taken from the novel Oliver Twist. Oliver Twist, this is the novel, and from the novel, one extract, one particular, this story is taken for our syllabus. Friends, as the name is written here, Oliver, let me give you some idea, central idea or a theme of this particular story, which will definitely help you out to understand the exact story. So Oliver, that boy is orphan boy, and we know very well that as I have written on the board, home is the place where we are safe and happy. In today's situation also, like we are stuck in the lockdown, and government is again and again forcing us to be at home, and everybody is enjoying at everybody's home. But students, have you ever thought about some students who, some students or some children, they don't have parents, they are called orphan. And such orphan children, they live in workhouse, or else, it is a old English word, workhouse, where people get shelter and food after working. And nowadays we are, though that place is known as an orphanage. Orphanage, where these orphan children they live. They try to complete their education, and they try to complete their upbringing as well. As we are safe with our family members, but these people are not safe. They are that other orphan Children, they are the family, and being in a society, we should help them, friends. So this story, Oliver asks for more. The story revolves around the main character, that is Oliver. Oliver is the main character of the story, today's story. And that boy is orphan, as I told you, and what happened with him, how he was thrown out from that particular orphanage, and which difficulties he faced. Those difficulties and whatever that part of his life, we are going to discuss in today's session. But before starting session, let me give you some new words, because every lesson has some new words, vocabulary. We have to enhance our vocabulary. Unless we enhance our vocabulary, it is quite impossible to improve our communication skills. So word, their meanings, and their use in sentences, as I will explain the story. That time I will explain how to use such kind of words in our sentences. They may be used as an adjective, they may be used as a noun, they may be used as a verb, sometimes adverbs. In parts of speech, we have already discussed about it. We have to relate, we have to study lessons, poems, and along with those lessons, poems, we have to study our grammar as well. I will revise that grammar, whatever the part which is included in the particular story or lesson, that part will be revised. So let's start with our today's first lesson. Oliver asks more, by giving some new words, friends. You have to write down your words in your notebook. You have to make a separate notebook for our grammar and for our textbook section. There are two notebooks, and in that notebook only you can complete your homework as well. So in that notebook, whatever classwork which will be given as in regards of, like, in terms of words, in terms of different phrases, in terms of different concepts of grammar, that also should be written in your notebook. And time to time update your homework on WhatsApp group. You have to send your homework on WhatsApp group. One more thing before starting lesson, I would like to inform every parent and every student that if you have not purchased your textbook yet, so please contact to Pankaj sir, and as early as possible you must purchase your textbooks, because today we are going to start our first lesson. So some words, let me give you some words first from the lesson which I have found. I should give you these words. First word, dismal. Dismal, it is our first word. Some people pronounce it dismal also. Dismal. The meaning of this word is sad and without hope. Sad and without hope. This is the meaning of this word, dismal. Second word, strides. Strides. Second word, strides. Long steps. Long steps when walking or running. When walking or running. When walking or running. So these words should be written in your notebook, friends. One more time, I have been again and again telling that words should be written in your notebooks. You have to recite those words, you have to by heart those words with the meanings. Third word, that is trotted. Trotted. It is second form, past form of trot. Past of trot. And meaning of that verb is to go somewhere. To go somewhere. To go somewhere in a quick way. In a quick way. To go somewhere in a quick way. You have to write down these words, friends. Third word, that is trotted. It is a past form trot, and the meaning of that word is to go somewhere in a quick way. It is meaning of verb trot. Next, that is forthwith. Forthwith, it is an adverb, friends, and the meaning of this word is immediately. Meaning of this word is immediately. Fifth word, that is notion. Notion meaning idea. So first 5 words are there. First word is dismal. The meaning of dismal is sad and without hope. Second word, strides, meaning long steps when we walk or else when we run. That time whatever strong long steps are taken, those are called strides. Third, trotted. It is a past of trot, and the meaning of that verb is to go somewhere in very quick way, quickly. Getting, whenever we are in haste, whenever we are in hurry, getting, don't use hurry word, you have to use haste. Forthwith, it's an adverb, and meaning of forthwith is what? Immediately. Some people pronounce it immediately, but actual pronunciation is immediately. And then immediately. Notion, next word is notion, N-O-T-I-O-N, notion, and the meaning of that word is idea. Next word, sixth one, that is lingering. Lingering, it's an adjective lasting a long time. Meaning of this adjective is what? Lasting a long time. Lasting a long time. This is the meaning of that lingering. Next word, tremble. Meaning of tremble is very emotional. Tremble, meaning of tremble is very emotional. Next, cane, C-A-N-E, cane, and meaning of this word is a long stick. A long stick. Next word, that is stammered. Stammered, it's a verb to speak something. Meaning of this verb stammered is to speak something with unusual pauses. To speak something with unusual pauses. That is called stammered. Next word, that is surly. Surly, S-U-R-L-Y, surly. R is quite silent here, surly. Unfriendly or not polite. Meaning of this word is what? Unfriendly or not polite. Unfriendly or not polite. So next 5 words are there. Lingering, meaning of lingering is what? Lasting a long time. Tremble, meaning of tremble is very emotional. Cane, meaning of cane is a long stick. Stammered means to speak something with unusual pauses, and surly means unfriendly or polite. Now only few words are remaining. Let me give you those words. Next is again verb, that is sob. It's a past form. Sob. To cry noisily. To cry noisily. Taking deep breaths. Taking deep breaths. Next word, that is starve. 12th one, starve. Starve. To become very weak. To become very weak. Become very weak. Next word, that is inmates. Inmates means what? A person who is kept in a prison. Who is kept in a prison. Here we have to change this word prison for our story, and here we have to take meaning of orphanage. Getting? Orphanage. Next is a gruel. Gruel, a cheap, simple food. A cheap, simple food. Next word is devoid. Devoid means to eat eagerly. To eat eagerly and in large amounts. To eat eagerly and in large amounts. So these are some words of first, like whatever part of the lesson we are going to deal today. So I found these words to be given to you. You have to write down these words in your notebook. Now friends, we are going to start our first lesson of our 8th standard, and name of the lesson is Oliver Asks More. Oliver Asks More. Now everybody please open your textbook, because I am going to dictate, I am going to narrate the story, and when I narrate the story, you also open your textbook for listening to the way how I pronounce the words. Getting? Pronunciation matters a lot. So to know the correct pronunciation of these words which are included in our story in our textbook, so everybody please open the textbook, and section A we are going to start the first story, that is Oliver Asks More. So when we start this story, about author we should know. Author, a person who has written this story. So this story is written by Charles Dickens. So Charles Dickens, he was born in 1812 and he died in 1870. He was famous English novelist. He was famous English novelist, and his focus was always remained on social issues. So whatever novels are written by Charles Dickens, in all the novels he has focused on the social issues. Right now in our today's story, Oliver Asks for More, this part of the story is taken from that novel. The name of the novel is Oliver Twist. Oliver Twist is the name of that orphan boy, and from that novel this part of the story is taken. And here also Charles Dickens, he has focused the social issue, the life of orphan child, what problems that orphan child has faced. Getting? So His masterpieces like Oliver Twist, Great Expectations, and Pickwick Papers, Bleak House, A Tale of Two Cities, and David Copperfield brought him fame all over the world. He was famous because of these such kind of famous novels as well. And as I have rightly told you, he was English novelist. Getting? So let's start with the explanation part. As I told you, this is an extract from the novel Oliver Twist about an orphan boy named Oliver who is brought to a children's home, means orphanage, that is called orphanage. The dismal state of affairs of the home and the treatment they mete out to children is described here. Whatever the problems are faced by these orphanage, in the orphanage by orphan students, all the problems, like we can get an idea about which problems they have faced. So Mr. Bumble walked on with long strides, meaning I have told strides, long steps, very quickly. So Mr. Bumble, he was in haste, he was in hurry, and he wanted to go somewhere very quickly, in a very quick manner. Little Oliver, firmly grasping his gold-laced cuff, trotted beside him. And Oliver also, he was also trying to match his speed. Bumble, he was like person, and he was walking very fast, and that small child, little child Oliver, he also he was also trying to match the speed of Mr. Bumble, and he has like trying, like he was trying to be in that particular speed. Getting? He was trotted means, like I told, meaning is given you when we go somewhere in a quick manner, that is called trotted. So they were in haste, they wanted to reach somewhere where we will see in next part of the story. Oliver had not been within the walls of workhouse. Workhouse means that where people get shelter and food after working for that particular organization. So Oliver had not been within the walls of the workhouse a quarter of an hour. Like for a long time, quarter of an hour, Oliver was not there in that particular workhouse. When Mr. Bumble informed him that the board had said he was to appear before it forthwith. The board of that particular committee, Bumble came and Mr. Bumble came and he informed Oliver he had to face the committee. He had to meet them. Like he was like called by that particular committee board. Not having a very clearly defined notion of what a live board was. And Oliver was very child, like little child, and he did not have an idea like what is that particular board, how it would be, what is called that board. Getting? Oliver was rather astonished by this information and was not quite certain whether he ought to laugh or cry. Now Oliver was worried. He was worried about whether to cry or laugh because he did not know what is going to happen in his life, because board, that committee of that particular workhouse has called him. They informed he has to be present in front of them. Getting? He had no time to think about the matter as they were rushing towards that particular board committee. So he had no time for thinking about that particular matter, what exactly happened, why they have called him. Mr. Bumble asked Oliver to follow him into large whitewashed room where 8 or 10 fat gentlemen were sitting around a table. So that committee members, they were very fat, and the fat gentlemen, they were sitting like they were 8 to 10 people, and this little child, you can imagine friends, you may also be frightened. Getting? For example, like if you are attending the class and if your class teacher comes and if your class teacher informs you now you have been called in the principal's office, so that time also like we start thinking what exactly happened, why I am called. Getting? So in the same situation, Oliver was there in that particular same situation. At the top of the table, seated in an armchair rather higher than the rest. So main person, whatever the body committee, that chairperson, he was sitting in that armchair and he was like quite higher rank he had was a particularly fat gentleman with a very round and red face. Red face means what? He was very angry. Getting. So, bow to the board, said Bumble. Mr. Bumble said to Oliver, bow. Getting means give respect. Bow towards them. Oliver brushed away 2 or 3 tears that were lingering in his eyes and seeking no board but the table bowed to that. Oliver was very little child. He was unable to see only the table. He could not see that particular whatever 8 to 10 people are sitting. Only he could see that particular one man, main person. He was about to cry now. What's your name, boy? Said the gentleman in the high chair. That main person. He asked, what's your name, boy? In that particular voice, you can imagine that. Oliver was frightened at that sight of so many gentlemen, which made him tremble. So he was confused and he was like frightened. He was scared what to like how to give answers in front of this kind of people. The beadle gave him a tap on his back with his cane, which made him cry. So that beadle, that particular person who, that church officer, he gave him a pat with his cane. Oliver was beaten by that cane. Cane means a long stick I have given. And because of that pat, because of that beat, he started crying. Boy said, the gentleman in the high chair, listen to me. You know you are an orphan, I suppose. That chairperson, he was like scolding him, and he told him in that, listen to me, boy, you know you are an orphan, I suppose. What's that, sir? Inquired poor Oliver. The boy is fool, I thought he was, said the gentleman in the white waistcoat. Another gentleman who was sitting in the white waistcoat, he was telling that, is that boy a fool? Like, push. Said the gentleman who had spoken first, you know you have got no father or no mother, and that you were brought up by the parish, weren't you? Parish means what? A local church. He was brought up by the local church. Being orphan, the church had taken his responsibility. Yes, sir, replied Oliver, weeping bitterly. Now Oliver was crying and he was weeping bitterly. And he replied, yes, sir, like in that particular low voice. What are you crying for? Inquired the gentleman in the white waistcoat. Again, that white waistcoat gentleman, he asked, like, what are you crying for? What is the reason? Let me know the reason. Like, you're crying. I hope you say your prayers every night, said another gentleman in a gruff voice, and pray for the people who feed you and take care of you like a Christian. So another gentleman asked him, like, you must be praying every day, getting every night, and you must be praying for the people who feed you. So is it correct or wrong? That person was like, everybody started asking him question. Yes, sir, stammered the boy. So Oliver now, he was very frightened, very scared, and in that low voice, he, by taking that pauses, he said, he gave answer, yes, sir. Well, you have come here to be educated and taught a useful trade, said the red-faced gentleman in the high chair. So that red gentleman told him that you have come here to be educated. We have not called you for any kind of reason for the punishment, and we have called you to give you education and all the things, and to give you particular work which will help you in your profession and all. So you will begin to pick oakum tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, added the surly one in the white waistcoat. Oakum is that particular loose fiber made up of old ropes, and he had to work with that particular ropes. And another person told him that oakum will be given you by like tomorrow morning 6 o'clock. So friends, this was the first paragraph, or else like first page, we have completed till first page. So questions related to first page will be sent you on WhatsApp. Whatever the questions, those questions are for your homework, and the words you have to learn the words. One more homework I am going to give you for improving your communication skill. Now on this particular page of that first lesson, so I will show you. This is the page, first and second. We have completed till this second page. So you have to find out verbs, action words. Whatever action words are given in this page, you have to find out those action words, and those words should be written in your homework. Again, your homework will be sent on your WhatsApp group along with this video. Meanwhile, we'll stop here for today. Please stay home, stay safe. Thank you.